Yeah, hi all.
Hey, Shiv. Hello. Hey, Bayung. Good morning.
Hi, how are you? Hi,
Good. Thank you.
how, Shiv, how are you?
Very well.
Good.
So were you there in KubeCon by any chance?
No, I was not. Did
Okay.
you? Did you go there?
No. I was also, I didn't go to KubeCon this time. Yeah. So just to.
Last year I did remote, to participate, but
Okay.
not this time. My coworker went there, so.
Okay. Okay. Um,
Hi, Manuela is coming. Hi, Manuela.
Unmute. Hi.
hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Today is incredible. One meeting with another.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's
Did
give.
you already discuss the agenda or?
No, we haven't. We haven't started discussing the agenda, but let me just
Okay.
put up the page. So what is the agenda for today? Maybe I can just open up the floor. Do we have anything specific to Shiv? Is there anything specific from your side to present?
No, Rahul. Actually, we are still actually working on the design. We need to have some more clarity and then
Okay.
talk about
Okay. Okay. What about Manuela? Do you have anything specific to present today?
Where is the window? Okay, but not specific to present. It is just to finish the requirement that together with Byung we were presenting last time. But as you prefer, are written there, and we also received the comments and we answered them. So if you think that is useful to discuss, we are here. Otherwise, anyway, the document is public. And on top of this, I had an action point last time. If I can present some use case to specify what airbag, EBAC, TBAC are. And I didn't put it inside the requirement document that is a little more formal, and maybe we can keep it approved. But I have some slides. If you are interested in listen to me, I can do it in a few minutes, as you prefer.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we have enough time today. One thing before we get into this, right? So what can we do next? Like, so my understanding is once we have this document, what should be the next? What do you think we can go? Where can we go from here? So we have already informed the RX Scope working group about this work item. It's there in the list. One is, I feel maybe we'll need some. Can we formally propose this action item to the RX Scope working group? That is one. It has already been proposed, but we can call for a formal review of this document. Maybe this is something that we can take up.
Okay.
We can do formal review, in my opinion. Also, my question to Raul, when you talk to RX, this is for R3 or R4? I heard this kind of moving to R4.
I think R4.
That's I saw.
Yeah, I'm not sure if R3 will be able to achieve this, frankly speaking.
Right. That's some. So R4, so target for R4. Okay. Yeah.
Correct.
Thank you.
And for R3, I think the only target that we can possibly have is the improving the security coverage based on what LFN has provided us with the guidelines, right? Like that is the primary action item.
Patch you're talking about? OpenSS. Okay.
Yeah, OpenSSF related stuff. And the only important work item there that is pending is the handling of the signed releases. I think apart from that, there is not much that we can do in the security working group. So this is something that is an important action item. Otherwise, everything else, right, like fuzzing and all these things, pin dependencies are not such a big action items. So our score is already decent. It's not that bad. If we achieve this, we'll easily reach maybe close to 8, 7.8 or something like that. We'll reach, which is frankly speaking, not a bad score for nephew.
Okay,
at this stage.
sounds good.
Yeah.
So R4, okay.
Yeah, R4 it's going to be. And again, depending upon how much progress we are able to do in the next 1 month, we can decide, right? Like we can put, if it is possible for us to actually put a reference implementation or something like that in experimental stage, so that in R4 when we begin the work, right, like we can start pushing the agenda in much more precise way, like having a reference implementation, having some sort of prototype and things like that wherever necessary. For example, in the context of workload identity, it might be necessary. I don't know how much it would be necessary in the context of identity and access management from user perspective and machine perspective. So if there is some prototyping that has to be done, we can pick those kind of activities in this release.
Question: the POC effort will be before R4. R4 is a Q3 and Q4, right? So
yes,
that means you do we expect the POC before R4 or during R4? That's I'm not.
No. So
not clear.
R4 formal discussions will happen only after R3 release is made, right?
Right. Yeah.
Which is June. So we have a couple of months till then. What I'm saying is that by then, if we can go into the POC, some sort of prototyping for whatever unknowns are, we'll be in a better position to actually position the work items, right, to the scope in our RX working group. So that's the point.
Okay. One comment before Manuel start presentation. So in the same document, Manuel, we shared it, but we put the diagram I shared last week. So Shiv, you can take a look at, and maybe you can merge you combine your node test station then with this service mesh combination. So I'm just providing some input for service mesh, the connection to Spire and Spire server and agents. So the more detail on the how to the node test station and then service mesh. So maybe you can combine and in your documents so we can go more detail. Anyway, that's I just provide my input for now, and then we're gonna focus on the user client identity access management. Okay, that's my input.
Sure, yeah. We can, I'll take a look at it and we can merge.
Thank you.
Okay, maybe in the next TSC call as well, we'll make this clear as to what you can expect for R3 and what kind of POC items that the team is working on. So maybe that is something that we can formally announce.
Yeah,
right?
that's good to me. Sounds
okay.
Mhm.
Right.
Thursday, right? TSC Thursday.
Oh, it is this Thursday?
I don't know which.
Oh, I thought it was maybe this Thursday. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, last
Timo,
Thursday.
Timo, is that this Thursday? Nephew TSC? I don't know. Or Friday? I don't know. Okay, all right.
That's
Next
fine.
time.
Whenever
I think it should be yes this Friday. This Thursday, sorry. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I have it in my calendar, so if not,
Okay.
I don't know if that proves anything, but yeah.
So we expect that Raul going to present that one. So, okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'll present that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what else do we have for discussion?
As general point, if I can,
yeah, go ahead.
Do we have in agenda maybe for next meeting to take care of the sensitive data more in detail? I know that in the past you already had a meeting on something similar as secret and so on. But is there any formalized work on this, or do you think that we're going to cover this topic too?
So what we had talked about previously is there is actually a document in the context of secrets management, if that is what your question is. But like we discussed before, that secrets management depends upon authorization, and that authorization will happen only once we have a way to assign identity to the workloads. Without that, it cannot be done. So hence we had basically kept it on hold.
Yes, but okay. After some time that we work on this, I'm convinced that even if it come after, it has also something that is independent as a technology, as how we want to encrypt, decrypt, how we want to manage that is related to authorization, yes, for sure, and we need identity, but anyway, there is maybe also something that could be discussed and shared just to collect opinion. I don't know, but
No, okay,
okay,
can you
just my opinion. I don't know if you have the same need or.
no, if you can give a quick explanation on the use case part, right? Like what is the specific use case that you're talking about? Maybe I'm not sure we are talking about the same thing then.
Okay, maybe I can prepare something, but as a summary, let me say, one point is when we go to authenticate to the workload cluster where and this workload cluster is external because the ownership of this workload cluster could be of the customer or some ACP and so on and so forth. Anyway, in our Git, we have the kubeconfig to access to this workload cluster. And inside, there are all the credentials that could be, in case of workload identities, this spiffy ID or whatever, but also some other method according to what the customer support. And anyway, these credentials that are maybe certificates or OpenID Connect token or whatever should be encrypted using some method that could be some KMS or HashiCorp Vault rather than some other method. Okay, anyway, this has to be protected, and this has to be protected independently on the fact that we have also a protected connection based on MTLS and authentication and authorization. It is something on top.
I think we discussed initially present about the secret management using Vault. So manual provide some use cases. It could be we can work together. I think, right? That's my understanding. Hello.
But
Yeah.
I was just asking if this is a topic that could, how to say, be interesting for everyone here or not, just for information. Okay.
No, the topic is certainly of interest, and if you look at the charter, it is explicitly mentioned as part of the charter as well. The point is the question is, are we ready for that discussion? That's the primary.
Not today for sure. Let's finish the identity and access management. It was just to have a discussion with you, a speech, just to say, okay, at some point we're going to cover this, and it seems to me that yes, we're going to.
Now, I think this is interesting topic. I think that we tried to cover, it's one of the agenda item, right? But we just postponed, as you said. So the manual provide some use cases and some input, then we can discuss for the future, for R3 or possibility. So I think, Prasan, you have initial proposal for using Vault. So that's why once we collect the input from manual for use cases, then we can discuss it. I think that's a good topic to me.
Yeah, I mean, so one point I just want to make over here is basically the initial use cases were identified from the workload cluster, right? So in terms of pushing the Git tokens and kube configs and so on. So based on that, we had a proposal, but we are also just keeping it on hold until we discuss the workload identity and finish that. So either way, I mean, even we have some material which we can share, and definitely, I mean, we can take a look at that.
Yeah. Thank you. I think it will be good now.
Okay. Okay, then let's go to the. If there is something else, sorry, I didn't know if you finished about agenda and.
No, Manila, if you have something specific to discuss, we can go on through that point.
No. Okay, that's all. Okay, I don't have so many things.
Okay. I have one more question in the context of R2 release. Was anyone able to get the R2 release working on a kind cluster or any kind of cluster as of now? a lot of folks are facing problems. So was anyone able to get it working? Just a question. R1 worked. Yeah, for R1 worked for pretty smoothly on client clusters, at least on GCP GCP environment on using client clusters. But R2 doesn't seem to work out of the box for sure.
There's some discussion. I don't recall the top of my head, but they R2 is supposed to support multi-cluster, and then I'm not sure what the kind. Yeah. We might maybe we can contact SIG1.
Okay.
And they have some agenda. I remember they had an agenda for that, but I don't remember.
Okay.
Maybe Sana or some she should know.
Okay. Okay, folks. I don't think I have anything else then to discuss. I think next week we'll be ready with the other discussion for sure, I feel. Right, Shiv? For the workload identity part, we can go into more details.
Yeah, actually,
yeah. Okay. Can we have one more review for the identity and access management within this team? That reminds me, Shiv, do we have the document for workload identity, or or are we going to refer the same document for identity and access management document for workload identity as well?
Yeah, I'll sort of make design documents separately.
No, purely from the requirements perspective, not from the design.
Requirement.
Requirements, that's about it, all, I think. So in terms of
can you review the document identity and access management document properly, based on if you can give a go ahead, right? For like if you can say yes, it.
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
One thing, Shiv, in the Ericsson user identity access management, that one of the requirement 5, we tried to cover workload access control, but now we're saying this will be fulfilled by the workload identity requirement from you. So that means we delegate that. We cover the requirement as of 5, but we realize the shifts and team can handle these 2 because they're using service mesh and then along with the workload identity region speaker. So that's why there's the document we have put that, but requirement 5, but we're not gonna fulfill. I think that we expect to fulfill by your requirement. So that's once you formulate your requirement, and then probably we're gonna delete this requirement 5 and we're pointing to your requirement. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Should I 1 second for can I share briefly just for showing talking point? Let me share a screen, okay, briefly, for what I'm talking about. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
So this is we manual we refine the requirement, the table format. I think we define mandatory, which is optional, which is not. And anyway, I'm talking about this number 5. Initially, we tried to cover nephew workload access control and nephew security mechanism share to support the workload identity and access control of the administration configuration to secure nephew workload. This is our requirement, but we put the node requirement fulfilled by workload identity requirement. So we put the sub requirement, but I think the shifts and teams requirement will be more correct. I think they have a lot of study in it. So once his team and provide the detailed requirement, we can it's okay, we can remove it and reference to shifts. But for now we put this requirement 5, but just take a look at that and then how similar you thinking. Otherwise you can create your requirement, and then we're gonna remove this requirement from here and just a reference to your requirement. Okay, that's my plan. Okay, stop sharing.
So Shiv, how are we going to proceed about this? Is it going to be a separate document and then we refer that document from here, or are we going to add it to this document?
I don't mind. I don't mind the Shiv adding the detail here, and we just I don't mind. It's up to Shiv. Okay. So if you think this is the good foundation and requirement 5, you can add additional detail and then put the more the detail requirement. It's up to you. And otherwise, if you create a new requirement, we're gonna just link to that requirement. Not a problem. Either one is fine.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, I think we have a set of requirements which is there in your document, and there's also, I think, a presentation from Rahul, which lays out the original proposal for using workload identity as a separate work item, right? So I'll just take a look at both, and then add. So we had focused on secrets at that point of time. So whatever the identity part in secrets and all three, I'll take a look at it, and then I think better to have it in one place. So I'll just see and then put it over there. So
Yeah.
that sort of looks okay with me, or
Yeah. If you are for one place, feel free to modify the context
Yeah,
where you
definitely,
put that. Okay,
definitely,
just
sure,
please,
yeah.
yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay. I get, yeah.
Do you want the detail? Do you like to have the detail about RBAC, TBAC, and ABAC, or I can just share the file and then collect? Is just 3 slides. I can share with you, and then if you are curious, you can ask me question, or if you want, I can describe them.
Yeah, if you have time, you can just present it now.
Okay.
Anyways, we have time. Since it's just 3 slides, right? It's better we.
Yeah, very short. It was just because last time you asked me to
Yeah.
put some. Okay.
I'm not sure if I really understand that part, the T-back part and A-back part. R-back part is very common, so that is very clear.
So let me, where is here, and share. RBAC. Okay. Let me know when you see.
Yeah.
Okay. I put everything together, RBAC, TBAC, and ABAC to focus on the difference that we have between the different method of authorization. And you see, if we have the nephew, I try to apply what we have in our Ericsson internal product in the nephew platform, and guessing where to apply the RBAC, TBAC, and ABAC, So nephew system can accept only authorized request, and this requirement is implemented via RBAC. The RBAC is role-based, so the ingress controller and the service exposure or whatever module we have in the nephew as ingress point of the system is the one that is able to implement RBAC, because role are abstract and can be known also at the boundary of the system, and it can be implemented here. Instead, when we go a little more deeply inside the system, nephew system can expose only authorized data and not request data. So in order to know the data, you need to go inside the system because the ingress is not aware of the data, the kind of the data, and the content of the data. And so this is in scope of TBAC, target-based access control. Is implemented by a specific level in the code that is TBAC, and is also enforced by the specific services that exposing the access to their data outside of the entire system. Because only the services are able to know the intimate detail of the data. And typically this is implemented, as a concept is like this, and then could be implemented with some sidecar inside the pod of the different services. And TBAC authorizes operation on data that could be read, write, delete, modify, and whatever additional verbs you want to define. Not all the data must be protected. This is for scalability and efficiency. It's possible to configure what is protected and what is not. And in case of we don't protect some resources via TBAC, we always have airbag on top of it. And we don't think, we don't assume to use TBAC in the communication and between internal services, but just on the northbound interface for the exposure of the data outside this world. When we go to ABAC, this could be used to enforce fine-grained authorization. The concept of ABAC is very similar to TBAC. But is more specific on this new world of GitOps, where we go to define the accessibility and the permission on the attribute that we put inside the declarative data model that could be status, revision, or any specific parameter that we put inside our Porch packages. Okay, so this is just to say which are the differences. And then I put some description of the use cases for TBAC as required. You see, TBAC is more complex with respect to airbag. The information that we want to authorize are not inside the request itself. And this is the reason why this has to be implemented inside in a TBAC layer and inside the service that is the owner of these resources. Okay. Two typical use cases are, for example, when we have the onboard of the app of the antenna positioning, including the machine learning model. And TBAC could be applied on the machine learning model. We can define, because TBAC is very abstract, and we can define a target based on a specific part of the machine learning model. This way, the app run only on authorized model, and this augment the efficiency, because the request gone only knowing only the model, and if the model is a permitted one. Another use case is when we have a topology, and we have the possibility to read topology information from an app that is on top of the SMO. And TBAC is expected to filter topology information, meaning that you can just filter only the manage object that you want to permit the access. Like this, you have a tree, and then the green manage object are usable in TBAC. Instead, the red manage object are not. So you have the entire tree. You go with the airbag, you access to it, but then the only visible part is the green one. Okay, so more or less, you see, very short.
Yeah.
It was just to say, because we always say TBAC, airbag, ABAC, and then it was just some definition, some explanation to say which are the differences. Okay,
So,
do you have a question?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah. So basically, is ABAC used in ONAP, or what is, or it's not there? I'm just curious.
Did you ask about ONAP?
Yep.
Yeah,
ONAP?
right. I mean, yeah,
ONAP
does
only
ONAP
supports
use-
up to RBAC.
Okay, any reason why? I mean, if
Okay, Manuel, you can ONAP. We in SACOM, we decide support up to RBAC because of the target and ABAC is a little complicated. So that's why at that time we decide for now we are gonna support the RBAC based, but we have some roadmap supporting fine-grained authorization, but we haven't done yet.
So that's the question, right? So what is there in, what is the additional requirement over one app that we have? I mean, use cases which
No,
require
Shiv,
ABAC
Shiv,
to
Shiv.
use,
It's not that we have to make use of ABAC and TBAC mandate.
Right. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
we're going to start off with RBAC that fulfills our requirements, but it's
Okay.
always good to know that something like this exists, and if there is some relevant use case that strikes us eventually, we might think about this. Is what.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah,
that's it.
and I
Yeah,
can say
that's
that
what I
in
wanted to know.
Ericsson Cloud Native product, AirBack is there from the beginning. TBAC is going to be introduced in some of our Cloud Native product.
Okay.
For example, the Ericsson Intelligent Controller will support in next release TBAC. And ENM, the management system, supported TBAC from for a long time ago, because TBAC at the beginning was specific to define the access to physical node. Okay, the managed object in the topology at the beginning were physical, and this help a lot for the efficiency of a method to filter it. And I think that one of the reasons why AirBack is so common also in the standard organization is that could be implemented and defined at the boundary of the system. When we go to TBAC and ABAC, we can define the requirement at a high level, but then when we go a little more in detail, we really need to involve the real service. And then this is the reason why it's difficult. That is a real common solution, is a common concept, but then you need to go on to enforce the authorization on the specific data that a service is able to manage. And this is true for both TBAC and ABAC. But for TBAC more than for ABAC, because in ABAC maybe Porch is common and is aware of the model that we manage in the services below. Okay.
So requirement 2 indicate, as Raul said, is a good to have. So we're gonna start from RBAC, but manual provide detail concept of the TBAC and ABAC. It's always good to have.
Just for information.
Yeah, always good to have, but so we'll see. RBAC first.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I guess that's it then. Anything else, folks?
No, I think
there is one action item, like I said before, like the handling the signed releases, right? Like that is on SIG Security. If someone can pick that up, so I'm planning to check if there is anyone who can pick up that work item. Basically, making use of cosign to sign the images and publish it before making the release. That's one of the action item that once that is fulfilled, then most of the OpenSSF related action items are fulfilled. Okay. All right. Anything else then, folks? Otherwise, we are good to close it.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Good
Thank
weekend.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You too. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Thank you.